Hey, welcome to Arc Salt Lake on your Tuesday morning. Time right now is 7 o'clock. We are beginning this hour by talking about something in Zion National Park. So let's take a live look at Zion National Park this morning, courtesy of one of our UDOT cameras down in the Springdale area at one of the entrances there. Zion National Park has a new program that allows for people to check out what's known as an extreme modus all-terrain wheelchair to allow people with mobility challenges to be able to explore more of the park itself. So we are joined by one of our own producers here at KUTV, Andrew Gallinger, who has firsthand knowledge of the challenges of mobility. Andrew, thanks for coming in and being a guest.
My pleasure, Lincoln. Thank you for having me.
Okay, you've been in a wheelchair your entire life. Can you tell people why?
Yeah, I was born with cerebral palsy and born here at the University of Utah Hospital in Salt Lake, and lived in Wyoming the majority of my life. Went to school here at the University of Utah for broadcast journalism, and then a few years ago decided the city's the right place for me, and made my way here.
How long have you been a producer here?
Since 2022.
2022. Okay, yeah, he does a great job as well. So we're talking about this program in Zion National Park where you can kind of basically rent this sort of all-terrain is what it's been described as, so you can explore more of the park. When you heard about this, what did you think?
That was extremely exciting for me, for anybody out there that has physical or other types of mobility challenges. This is a game changer to be able to get people out and experiencing Utah's natural beauty. We talk about all the time on these shows, the beauty of Utah.
Yeah.
We all know it because we've lived here for so long. There are a lot of people that don't get the chance to experience Utah's beauty because there aren't opportunities like this for accessibility. So I'm excited to see what this offers for people and the family memories that could be made.
Yeah, absolutely.
Utah is very much a family state, and being somebody that goes through these challenges, even for me as an adult, there's times I have to say, oh, there's unfortunately things that I can't participate in because it's not accessible. So this just opens up a whole nother layer of opportunities for not just experiences for that individual in a wheelchair, but family or friends as a whole.
So many of us, we can take this for granted, you know, like we can go to the national park, we can get out, we can get on those trails and walk miles into the backcountry. That's not the case for people with mobility challenges. In many cases, maybe they can go to the park, but they could be seeing things from a parking lot, or they're just not getting out and exploring like the rest of everyone else can.
Exactly. Not getting the whole experience. And especially you look at this all-terrain wheelchair, and I was impressed seeing how big those tires are. I mean, it now will enable people to go on the rough trails into the water. So like you were saying, it's a different level of experiences where finally these people that do have the mobility challenges can experience things in the same way the rest of their family and friends do, and not feel left out. So it not only gives wonderful experiences, but it builds confidence for both the person that's using the wheelchair and anybody that's with them.
Have you, so it's what's called an extreme modus all-terrain wheelchair. Obviously, I don't know the details of that type of a machine there. You've seen the pictures of it probably.
Yeah.
Explain it to us for those who don't know. Is this suitable for everybody?
I think it will be probably a lot easier for people that are in a group. It seems like it'll be one that works very well for both kids and adults.
Okay.
You know, I know a number of years ago, my family and I, we went on an international cruise, and they had in Jamaica at one of the beaches one of the all-terrain wheelchairs, and at that point I was able to go all over the beach, even into the water, but it was a situation where I had to have family members push the chair to be able to get me in, just because it was so big. So that's the case here. But going back to my earlier point, it still gives the experience. That's the key. So even with needing somebody to assist the disabled person in the chair, they're still getting that experience. And for everybody involved, be it family, friends, the disabled person, everybody's getting that full-on experience and just being able to not only enjoy the beauty of Zion, but family time.
So you were telling me before we started the show that you think this would actually probably cause some families with family members with mobility challenges to probably choose to come to Utah, where otherwise maybe it was kind of off the list because they didn't feel like they could explore a place like this properly.
Yeah, absolutely. And yes, that's the case for Zion National Park itself, but look at the surrounding area. Even coming up here into northern Utah, maybe they say, well, we couldn't look at exploring Zion National Park, so maybe that unfortunately took Utah as a whole off the list. And now that there's the opportunity for accessibility, maybe it's somebody from the central U.S., eastern U.S. that says, now we can plan a vacation out here to the Mountain West region because there's something accessible. And yes, the core of that vacation will probably be planned at Zion National Park, but look at what it could advance to through the rest of the state. You look at the economy, these families going out to eat at restaurants throughout communities, whether it's still in southern Utah or maybe they decide to come up here to northern Utah, and then those families get to experience these different areas of Utah that they wouldn't if they would have said, oh, there's no accessibility at the national park, we're just gonna scrap a trip to Utah altogether. So it's a win-win for much more than just Zion National Park and Utah's beauty down there.
So yeah, this is the first national park in the country now to own accessibility equipment that's available for public use. I'm sure that you would like to see this around national parks around the country, right?
Absolutely, and especially being from Wyoming originally. I've been to Yellowstone and Grand Teton National Park a handful of times.
Beautiful places.
Yes, those are both very beautiful places, but they just weren't accessible. And you look at so many beautiful national parks across the country for people to visit. And same thing we were talking about earlier, if there's no accessibility, it takes that place off the list. So you look at Zion now having this. What does it mean for the other national parks in southern Utah? Canyonlands, arches, things like that. Even going into the Tetons and Yellowstone into Wyoming and other national parks throughout the region. It's just going to be able to expand things in a way for people that things just weren't accessible before. And even for Utahns, I know we talked a lot about out-of-staters making it a big vacation, but it'll allow Utah families.
Yeah, who maybe haven't gone to explore some of these parks yet. Well, really awesome to hear this news, and we really appreciate you coming in and talking to us about this, telling us why it is such a big deal. So, Andrew, thank you so much for coming in this morning.
Thank you for having me, Lincoln. I
Absolutely.
appreciate it.
Definitely a pleasure. Thank you so much. All right.